Would you say that there was any improvement after the defeat against Brighton in the Premier League at the weekend? I think there was.
There was a bit more about them, a bit more oomph, a bit more gut to actually go at Bayern Munich, where you're playing at home. That's a sort of performance you would expect playing at home, but it was playing away and they actually went at Bayern Munich rather than just getting passed all over the park and not looking like they want to score. So I'm sure they've got had a rollicking over the weekend and they've came out with a bit more fight in them. But still, it's Manchester United. You're not expecting to concede 4 goals in the Champions League. At the moment, the team is in disarray.
It is. You say the team's in disarray, but really it's the club. And that's why I think we shouldn't react too much to the performances on the pitch, because when as we know, things are so badly disjointed at that football club when it comes to the takeover, the Glazers and the way that they manage the finances at the club. Yes, Erik ten Hag's had money to spend, but the recruitment hasn't been good. There are injuries as well. There are so many things going wrong. We've had the issues concerning several players off the field. It's just, I think, everything rolled into one now. I don't see how at the end of that we can expect a stable football team that goes out on the pitch and performs every week.
I disagree, Hugh. If the board and the owners are in discussion of a takeover, that's nothing to do with the players. The players have no say in if the Glazers sell, buy, do whatever they want. They have no say. All they have to do is train, play well, and train hard. That's their job. So what goes on above our heads about selling the club has no impact.
So you're telling me that you've never been at a football club where there have been negative stories, it might be regarding the manager or the hierarchy at a football club, the fans are getting on their back, not necessarily the players. It has never affected you. You've never thought, what's going on at this football club? And that when you go over the white line, it's never affected your performance.
The only time where a manager's probably talking about is getting the sack is if he's not playing me, and I'm thinking, I can't wait for him to go, because then a new manager comes in and then I might get my chance again. But apart from that, the noise doesn't really bother you. We hear noise about performances, about players, about individuals every week from the punters giving a stick. So noise about the chairman or noise about the manager, it's more off the ducks back to us. It doesn't affect us. I think the fans and everyone's got to stop blaming the board. They've had like £1.3 billion to spend. They have spent that more than Liverpool and some teams. So Glazer has been putting money into the club. What do they want him out for? What because the training ground or the stadium's not state of the art.
The infrastructure, but also I think a lot of Manchester United fans would say, no, it's not just that. It's putting people in positions within the football club who they don't believe are up to standard. In fact, it's allowing the standards top to bottom to fall. It's allowing a culture of mediocrity over the years that they've been in charge, to the point where Manchester United, who were considered pretty much first in class, are now basically at the back of the bus. They're nowhere near it. That has happened over the time that the Glazers have owned the football club. Essentially, the fans think that they don't care. And it doesn't really look like from the outside they do particularly care about anything other than taking dividends and taking money out of the football club.
They are putting money in the football club. That's like
but they're not. They're not putting money into the football club. They're allowing the money that the fans are putting into the football club to be spent. They're allowing the money that broadcasters are putting into the football club to be spent on transfers. They're taking the money out that they can each and every year to service a debt that Manchester United never had when the Glazers took over. That's another big bugbear of the fans. And they believe, and I get it, it might be foolhardy to think it, that the ownership are essentially a ball and chain weighing them down from the possibility of being even more successful. They could have spent even more money on even better players. They could have had people in the club that spent the money a lot better, even if they didn't spend more of it. And that's why I think that a lot of the anger is directed at the Glazers. The question is now, and I think you've pointed to it, should that anger be directed at the manager in terms of the performances?
Manager and players. As simple as that. He's the one who picks the teams, he's the one who gives the instructions, he's the one who sets up the formation and picks the players, and then it's the players who goes out and does the duties and perform on the pitch. If they're not performing and they're getting beat, that's not the Glazers' fault. It's the players' fault. They need to stand up and be accountable. You can't. What? So if you're telling me if they get an extra swimming pool in the training ground, they're going to play better, or there's a nice, comfortable seats in the stadium?
I think, and I didn't think this before we came onto the show, but I think we do slightly disagree on this, because I'm in the camp that thinks eventually, with the club being run as it's been run, that will spill over onto the football side of things, and in particular onto the pitch. And that's what's happening right now. You're one of those that thinks the players and the manager have to take responsibility.
If Glazer wasn't putting money into the club or spending money, if there wasn't spending money, then you could say, hold on a minute, we need new players, we need a fresh team, we need to, not being so stagnant and catch the other teams who are spending bigger, bringing in players. But he's doing that. Apart from Chelsea, Manchester United are the next biggest spenders. So it's down to the team, the players and the manager and the staff and the coaching staff, not Glazer, not the owners.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.